Ever look up at the night sky and just think, whoa, what am I even looking at?
That's a pretty common thought, actually.
Well, tonight we're taking your fascination with the cosmos, and using the info you sent over, we're going to try to decode some of those twinkling lights up there. Consider us your guides to the language of the stars.
And you've given us a great place to start, a chapter from a 6th grade science book called Beyond Earth.
Sometimes you got to go back to basics, right? See it through a kid's eyes again.
Exactly. Fresh perspective.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of fresh perspectives, our journey starts in Nubra. It's this region in India known for its crazy, clear night skies.
And the book introduces us to Yangdal and Dorje. They're siblings, love stargazing, kind of like you.
It reminds us how much fun it is to just look up, try to connect those dots of light.
Create some order out of the chaos.
Exactly. And that's how constellations were born, right?
And people actually used to navigate by them.
Oh, yeah. For centuries, constellations weren't just pretty patterns. They were like the ancient version of GPS.
Can you imagine using the stars as your map and compass? Talk about a sense of direction.
It really shows you how clever people were, this need to find meaning, make sense of everything around them, like Orion, for example.
Orion.
Yeah, the constellation. One of the easiest to spot, often seen as a mighty hunter in a lot of cultures.
And we can't forget Sirius. The brightest star we can see from Earth hangs out in Canis Major.
Orion's faithful dog.
It's like ancient myths are written in the stars. Adds a whole other level to stargazing.
It totally does. And the best part is, different cultures see different things in those same stars.
Oh, like what?
Well, you mentioned Orion the hunter. Pretty common in Western cultures. But some Indian tribes, they see the Big Dipper as this grandmother's cot being stolen by these 3 thieves.
No way. So the stars stay the same, but the stories we tell, totally up to us.
I love that.
But some constellations are actually still useful today, right? Not just for stories.
Oh, absolutely. The Big Dipper has been a navigator's best friend for ages. You find it, you find the North Star, you find your way.
And speaking of finding your way, this book has some solid advice on how to actually go stargazing.
Like what?
Well, first off, ditch those city lights. Get somewhere dark.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And no moon, if you can swing it, gives you the best view.
True.
And give your eyes like 30 minutes to adjust once you're out there.
Yeah, that's key. Your eyes can do amazing things in low light, but you got to give them time to switch over. And while we're on the topic, the book focuses on using just your eyes, but trust me, a sky mapping app. Game changer.
Like having a cheat sheet for the universe.
Pretty much. Helps you find those constellations, planets, all that cool stuff.
Nice. Speaking of which, the book actually walks you through how to find the Big Dipper, which then leads you to Polaris, and from there, bam, Orion and Sirius. It's like a cosmic connect the dots.
Perfect for beginners. Those constellations, they're like landmarks in the sky,
So you get your bearings, start to grasp just how enormous it all is.
Exactly. Now, ready to zoom out a little.
Sure.
Explore the solar system.
Ready to blast off. And every solar system needs a star, right?
Right.
And ours kind of steals the show.
The sun.
The one and only. Seriously, it looks so small in the sky, but it's actually, wait for it, 100 times bigger than Earth.
All about perspective, right? It seems small because it's so far away.
True.
But don't let the distance fool you. It's still a star, just like all those tiny twinklers we see at night.
And without it, we wouldn't be here.
Our very own life support system. Literally.
Okay, so from the sun, our local celebrity, the book takes us on a tour of the planets. It says a planet has to be big, pretty much round, and it has to orbit a star.
Solid definition.
Right.
So where do we start?
Well, we've got the inner planets, the rocky ones, Mercury, Venus, Earth.
And Mars.
The red planet.
That rusty color really makes it stand out. Iron oxide, basically.
And of course, Earth, the blue planet. All thanks to our lovely oceans.
And if we head further out, we run into the gas giants.
Tooch?
Jupiter, Saturn.
Uranus and Neptune. Those are some big boys compared to our little rocky planets. And they're mostly made of, well, gas.
A lot of them even have rings. Ice, dust, rock, the works.
It's wild how much variety is packed into our little corner of the galaxy.
It really is. And then there's Pluto.
Ah, yes. Pluto. Our textbook says it used to be the 9th planet.
Used to be's right. It's a dwarf planet now.
Which apparently caused quite a stir back in 2006.
Can you believe they actually had to vote on what counts as a planet? Astronomers take their definitions seriously.
Well, they found all these other objects out there, similar to Pluto in size and all, and it kind of threw a wrench in things.
Eris, for example.
So it wasn't so much about demoting Pluto as it was about realizing, hey, our solar system is way more complex than we thought.
Exactly.
So we've got stars, planets. What else is hanging out in space?
Well, you've got moons, asteroids, comets. Our solar system is a bustling place, even if it seems pretty empty compared to what we're used to here on Earth.
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Speaking of perspective, let's talk about moons. Specifically, Earth's moon. You know, the one responsible for those breathtaking lunar eclipses. The one that's inspired poets and dreamers for centuries. It's about a quarter the size of Earth and plays a crucial role in our planet's stability.
That's right. Without the moon's gravitational influence, Earth's rotation would be much less stable, and our seasons would be far less predictable. It's more than just a pretty face in the night sky.
Definitely not just a pretty face. It's covered in craters, mostly formed by impacts from asteroids and other space debris. The moon's surface is like a history book, preserving evidence of billions of years of cosmic collisions. And speaking of history, the book mentions India's Chandrayaan missions, which are incredible examples of ongoing lunar exploration.
Absolutely. Chandrayaan-3, which made a successful soft landing on the moon this past August, marked a significant achievement in space exploration. India became the first country to successfully land a craft near the moon's south pole, a region believed to hold valuable resources, including water ice.
Water ice on the moon. That's huge. It seems like we're on the verge of uncovering some incredible secrets about our celestial neighbor. Okay, so we've covered planets, moons. What about those asteroids? They always seem to be portrayed as threats in movies, hurtling toward Earth with catastrophic consequences.
Hollywood does love a good asteroid apocalypse scenario.
Yeah.
In reality, while asteroid impacts are a genuine concern, the vast majority of asteroids reside in a region between Mars and Jupiter, known as the asteroid belt.
Like a cosmic highway, except with significantly less traffic congestion than we're used to here on Earth.
Exactly. And while most of these asteroids remain in that belt, occasionally some are nudged out of their orbits due to gravitational interactions with Jupiter, sending them on trajectories that sometimes cross paths with Earth.
Which is where things could get a little dicey. But it sounds like the odds are in our favor for now. So if got asteroids, what about comets? Those icy wanderers with their long, glowing tails always capture the imagination.
Comets are like cosmic time capsules. They're remnants from the early solar system, composed of ice, dust, gas, and rock, essentially frozen leftovers from the formation of our sun and planets. As they venture closer to the sun, that ice begins to vaporize, creating those distinctive tails that can stretch for millions of kilometers.
Creating those breathtaking celestial displays we see from Earth, it's incredible to think that those tails are a result of something essentially melting in space. And we're learning so much about the early solar system by studying these icy travelers, right?
Exactly. By analyzing the composition of comets, scientists can gain insights into the conditions and materials that existed billions of years ago when our solar system was still in its infancy.
We've journeyed from constellations to planets, moons, asteroids, even those cosmic snowballs, comets. But our exploration isn't over yet. Our trusty textbook guides us beyond our solar system, into the Milky Way galaxy and beyond. It's mind-blowing to think that our solar system, as vast as it is just a tiny speck in the grand scheme of the Milky Way.
It's true. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, is a swirling, massive collection of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter. It's estimated to contain hundreds of billions of stars, and ours is just one of them. The book describes the Milky Way as an extended faint band of light, visible from dark locations away from city lights.
It makes me want to grab a telescope, escape the city lights, and try to grasp the sheer scale of it all.
And as we delve deeper into the vastness of the Milky Way, we inevitably begin to contemplate the possibility of other life forms existing out there, somewhere among those billions of stars. The text mentions exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars.
So we're talking about planets beyond our solar system, worlds that might harbor conditions suitable for life as we know it. That's both exhilarating and a little daunting, isn't it? To think that we might not be alone in this vast cosmic expanse.
It certainly fuels the imagination. And while we haven't yet found definitive proof of extraterrestrial life, the sheer number of stars and planets out there suggests that the possibility is far from improbable.
It's a mind-boggling concept to wrap our heads around. It really makes you realize just how much is still out there, undiscovered.
It's like every answer just leads to more questions. That's what I love about astronomy.
It's a never-ending puzzle, but sometimes I gotta admit, it's kind of nice to bring it back down to earth for a minute. Just appreciate what we've got right here.
Right. You can get lost in the vastness, for sure.
But even just getting a handle on our place in the Milky Way, one galaxy among billions. Pretty incredible.
It puts things in perspective.
Big time. We're part of something so much bigger, a story that's been going on for, what, billions of years?
Billions, yeah.
And it's still going. Kind of like that Pluto thing we were talking about.
What about it?
Just shows you what we think is true today might be totally different tomorrow. New discoveries change everything.
That's science for you. It's not about being right. It's about getting closer, you know?
Makes you wonder what people will know about space, like, hundreds of years from now.
Oh, man. I can't even imagine.
They'll probably look back at what we know now and be like, ah, how cute.
Totally. Like when we look at those old star charts.
Right. They thought that was a constellation.
Did they even know about black holes back then?
Exactly. Oh, man. This whole deep dive has been amazing. A good reminder that exploration isn't just about spaceships and astronauts. It's about knowledge, too. Pushing those boundaries.
I love that.
Curiosity. That's what it's all about. The same curiosity that makes you look up at the night sky and go, what is all that?
Exactly.
So next time you get a clear night, take a moment, really look up, see if you can spot a constellation, maybe even bust out that sky mapping app.
It's addictive, I'm warning you.
See if you can tap back into that kid-like sense of wonder.
It never really goes away.
So true. And remember, you're not just looking at the universe, you're a part of it. All those stars out there.
We're made of the same stuff.
Mind-blowing. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into your fascination with the night sky. Until next time, keep looking up.